Alright, with this next match being Dean Ambrose going up against Wade Barrett, this is an example of a match at WWE FASTLANE 2015 that I give no cares about. None at all. This is basically built up off of the WWE Snow Day, which was held after the Royal Rumble. They had a thing where basically Dean Ambrose walked his way to the WWE studios, and when he was walking through the offices and the halls, he said he found a hallway with pictures of all the Intercontinental champions decorated up and down the wall. My only thoughts was about this hall. Once you win the Intercontinental Championship, is your picture only on the wall one time, or is Wade Barrett's picture on the wall 5 times? Is it like a title like history where it just like passes the title back and forth? You would just get your title, you get your picture up on the wall right after the other, or is it just just one time shrines you in there and that's it? But basically, Dean Ambrose said that he wanted to get his picture onto the wall, so he sort of put his sights on winning that Intercontinental Championship, going after Wade Barrett. We saw these guys have a non-title match on Monday Night Raw almost a month ago, back in January. And at that point, basically, we saw it looked like Wade Barrett was picking up a win when he picked up Dean Ambrose for the Wasteland maneuver. And at that point, right before it was about to go down, Dean Ambrose was able to put Dirty Deeds on and was able to snare in a victory and be able to get a non-title win over Bray Wyatt. It seems to be that's the way that almost anybody gets a title shot on a pay-per-view, is getting a non-title win on a Monday Night Raw. Sort of like, well, I beat you once, I can beat you again. In my mind, whenever one of those guys goes out there, I'm not looking for the Crash Holly 24/7 rule where you can pin a guy sleeping in his hotel room. But anytime you wrestle on Raw or SmackDown, hell, even on a live show, that title should be on the line. You should always be defending your championship unless it's in some sort of a tag match or something like that. And maybe that's how you can pull off a victory. But, so many times I guess I just wasn't paying attention, and I've been fooled by non-title victories on Raw, thinking that somebody just won it and it was a bigger moment than it actually was. Everybody knows about Dean Ambrose's win-loss record on pay-per-views. I don't put a whole lot behind it. Dean Ambrose is the guy that has a lot of fans. As you can see, I was really surprised by them making him a VIP at WrestleMania Access. People wanting to pay, big money to go and meet this guy. I haven't seen his tickets selling at a big premium price to meet him. So it seems like the people that wanted to meet him bought tickets, and his tickets aren't really selling like a Hulk Hogan or a Sting or a John Cena, where people are just ridiculous at the point of trying to get these. But Dean Ambrose more than likely is going to lose this match. I don't see him as the Intercontinental Champion. There's a lot of people who liked his sketch comedy that was going down. I know that they were, giving congratulations to their partner over at WWE. Or WWE was giving him to Saturday Night Live for their 40th anniversary that ran just the other day. I was able to check that out actually on YouTube. Somebody actually uploaded the best sketches that were up there. I had a lot of fun watching those last night, but on Monday Night Raw, the first one was funny, and they just sort of wore thin from there, basically with Dean Ambrose doing the news, and basically talking about, he needed to get this match signed for Wade Barrett, but Wade Barrett was ducking signing the contract. But basically, Dean Ambrose came down to the ring, and he just went to the extreme with basically, zip tying Wade Barrett to the ring post and forcing him to sign the contract by grabbing his hand and putting his name on the contract. So now they have a championship match. I like the fact that Wade Barrett put a tweet up on Twitter asking if there was any, legal ways he could find a way to get out of this match. But I think when it all comes down to it, the bare knuckle brawler is going to be punching out Dean Ambrose, and he's going to be getting the victory. When I think about the Intercontinental Championship, I honestly always talk about how I hope somebody brings pride to this championship, and it means what it once meant in the 1990s. I can remember around Survivor Series that Dolph Ziggler was the Intercontinental Champion. Dolph Ziggler lost the title to Luke Harper, who I think he just lost it on a Monday Night Raw, if I can remember right. And then at TLC, Luke Harper and Dolph Ziggler had a ladder match, which is extremely good, probably the match of the night on TLC, where it all went downhill from there. Dolph Ziggler won the championship back. But I can't remember how Wade Barrett got his hands on it. I'm guessing that the Authority came back and just, made Dolph Ziggler's a night of hell. He lost the championship, and since then we really haven't seen Ziggler have his eyes on getting that title back. We haven't really seen Ziggler have his eyes on moving up the card at all. We've seen him and John Cena's Super Friends band together a few times with Ryback, Ziggler, and Eric Rowan sort of come down to make the save, but I don't know what they have planned out for these guys, in the future at WrestleMania, but I can see Wade Barrett keeping the championship from here and moving on. So that'll do it for this one. I actually went a lot longer than I thought I was going to, because this is the match that I just, honestly, like I said, it just seems like they've had this planned out for over a month since the Royal Rumble, that this was where they were going to go. And besides the storyline of Wade Barrett constantly giving Ambrose the championship shot, they really haven't had a storyline at all. Ambrose should have been going out there and making sure he made Wade Barrett's life a living hell week in and week out, to the point where Wade Barrett just said, forget this, I'm going to beat this guy up at Fastlane, and then I'm going to just make it where he's not in my life anymore.